those who make great leaders are typically the ones who don't want it, and the ones who are more reluctant to lead because they don't think they deserve it and they don't think they're good enough. And honestly, the moral of this movie, and Mufasa's whole character arc, that he never really saw himself, he saw everybody else's strengths but missed his own, is so strong and so relatable, and I love this movie. Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So I am filming outside because it's so nice and beautiful, and we just watched Mufasa, literally finished it minutes ago. So I'm here to review Mufasa. Let's get into this. So for those of you who have been living under a rock and don't know, Mufasa is the live action prequel to The Lion King, and it's Mufasa's backstory. And before the movie came out, I've heard a lot of people, one, people are tired of live action remakes. Two, this isn't actually a remake, it's a prequel that never existed that's just now been done. And a lot of people are like, well, what's the point of a live action if all the animals are CGI? And I get that, all those are valid. So I went into this not sure what to think, and my main concerns was, number one, I was afraid that the movie was going to ruin The Lion King by claiming I was worried they were going to make Mufasa betray Scar, and how Scar make Scar more sympathetic, and how he was justified in trying to take over the kingdom and Mufasa was more of a usurper. I was really concerned about that going into this movie. So first of all, this will have, I'll try to keep away major spoilers, but it's kind of like a prequel to The Lion King, so we all kind of know how it ends anyway. But the movie actually starts with Kiara and Simba and Nala are going off to do it kind of implies they're going to give birth to a baby. It's like the birthing time or something. And I thought it was going to be Kiara, but Kiara is a cub and there's the storm coming and she's afraid. So Timon and Pumbaa, Simba left them to watch her. And so the dynamic is kind of reminiscent of Lion King 2, where Simba leaves Timon and Pumbaa with Kiara to watch her all the time. Rafiki joins them and Rafiki starts telling a story. Now, I don't like Timon and Pumbaa in the live action Lion King remake. They are horrible and not like the Timon and Pumbaa. But I will say the characterization of everybody else other than Timon and Pumbaa, even in this movie, was really, really good. And Rafiki is amazing. I really love Rafiki's character and how they portrayed him in this. And the whole movie is dedicated to James Earl Jones, which is beautiful because he recently passed away and he was the voice of original Mufasa. So Rafiki tells the story of Mufasa, and honestly, it is such beautiful, it is such a beautiful story. And my sister and I really enjoyed it, and it surprised me how much I genuinely really loved this movie. Mufasa, the songs, some of them were okay. The songs that I wanted to highlight the songs while they're on the tip of my tongue. So the songs that I did I liked this opening song with Mufasa's parents and the duet that they did talking about Malele, which is the paradise that they're trying to get to, sort of thing, which implies the Pride Lands. And I liked, later on in the movie, Mufasa and Sarabi get a duet that was so beautiful, one of my favorites in the whole one. And then there's a song that, let's see, Sarabi and Zazu, Rafiki, and then Mufasa and Taka all sing together, and it's a really fun group song, so I liked that song as well. There were a few other ones in the movie. Taka and Mufasa get kind of a brother song that was just okay. And then Taka gets a villain song. The main villain gets a song. And it's just okay, those weren't the best songs. So I wanted to highlight the songs. And honestly, Mufasa's journey, the situation that happened with his parents, I won't spoil it, but it was very reminiscent of Simba and Mufasa and what happens with them. But they kind of ended it and made it different. And it was really interesting. And it's really kind of, to me, it was really fascinating how Mufasa got to Taka and the Pride, and it kind of implies Taka is Scar, but he's called Taka, and so you're curious to see what happens and how things end up the way they were. And so while I was watching this movie, I really, really enjoyed every moment of it, and I really enjoyed the movie. The whole time in the back of my head, though, I was concerned, how is this going to end? Are they going to ruin Mufasa's character and everything? And that was concerning to me. So it implies Taka's, oh yeah, it actually is Taka's mom. So Taka's mom is named Eshe, which, by the way, it's the exact same name as my character from Immortal, Jason Eshe. I call her Eshe and I pronounce it Essie just because I'm an American and I have a hick accent. But it's actually Eshe is how it's pronounced. It's the same name, so I thought that was kind of cool. But Eshe being Taka's mom, when they take in Mufasa, again, I'm trying to be vague about the circumstances, they become really close and she becomes like a surrogate mother to him. And it's like really like the dynamic between Mufasa and Eshe was actually really beautiful, and I love the fact that they were kind of as true to realistic animals in the wild as they could be, but like a Disney-fied version. Obviously there's like the Disneyfication of it, where it's like a giraffe helps Mufasa out of a river at one point, and like different things like that, which wouldn't happen. And like one time he's in the river and he passes right by a hippo, and like in real life hippos would just like crunch the cub in half. But I love African documentaries, by the way. I've seen too many of them. So that's a thing. But in like generally though, they're true to like the fact that like Taka's dad, Obasi, I can't remember his name. I think it's Obasi. And if I'm wrong about that, sorry. But like him and the other lions like kind of lay around all day. And in real life, like the male lions will like travel the land and like mark it and keep track of like to make sure there's no other males around. And so there's a lot of good action scenes in it. Not just like action with like, there's a lot of like lion fighting, but there's also like, you know, escaping down a river and like nature kind of action scenes too. So the dynamic between Taka and Mufasa are really good. I love the brother relationship between them, and it's really, really fun to watch, and it makes you wonder like, how does this go wrong? And it also, what I love about this movie is that it sets up the context of like the Lion King, but I feel like if you're watching the Lion King, the original animated one, and the Lion King live action remake, I feel like we're going to watch those scenes between Mufasa and Scar and some of the characters and kind of like have a new light or a new context and kind of think about this prequel and have that in our minds as we watch it. And that's what I'm kind of interested in, to rewatch it just to see what my thought process is with that. Like I said, I love Mufasa and Eshe, and like because he's an outsider, he kind of works more with her and the lionesses, so he learns to hunt. So Mufasa has all of these skills, and he's naturally gifted at like hunting and sensing things, and I loved all of those type of scenes. It was really fascinating how they did that. I feel like I'm saying that word a lot. The word of the day for this movie is fascinating. And the circumstances that happen, I like the main villain. They set him up as a really good villain, and all of his little minions, the lionesses and the lions that work for him. The only concern I had with that was that they were all albino, which could have been just like an aesthetic choice that they did, like, oh, let's have a pack of albino lionesses and lions to be the bad people. But I'm afraid that they were trying to do a subtle message there, like, oh, the white lions are the bad ones, so the white people are the bad ones. I don't know if that was intentional or if it was just coincident, like, hey, let's have albino lions so they look different from the good lions, you know what I mean? Because in the animated ones, like the outsiders, like in Lion King 2, they all looked skinny and scrawny, and they had a different kind of animation look to them compared to like Simba and Nala and the Pride, like the good lions. So it could have just been an aesthetic choice, but there could have been an intentional thing, a choice behind that too. So I don't know for sure. Knowing Disney, it could have been intentional. So yeah, and the whole plot, and in the end, I feel like they did kind of show reasons why Scar like feels like he does in the Lion King, but without Mufasa seeming as the bad guy. And they did kind of lead into Scar's character, how we know Scar to be, very, very well. And I feel like I really loved how they handled it, the boss fight, the bad guy, like everything, and it all kind of lined up. And I loved how they also, I know some people, when you have a prequel, I've heard complaints that people don't like prequels that like tick off boxes, like, okay, this is how the character did this, and this is how the character found that. Like a lot of complaints that I heard about the Solo movie, which was a backstory about Han Solo, was that it felt like a movie just to get to beats on how Han gets Chewie and how Han gets the Millennium Falcon and how Han ended up doing this and that. And a lot of people don't like that. Like they want a prequel that's going to add something new to the story. And that's what I feel like Mufasa does well. It does tick those boxes, like, okay, this is how he met Rafiki. This is why him and Rafiki have this close brother-like relationship. This is how Scar and him became close as brothers. This is how Zazu got involved, and this is how he met Sarabi, and we get his Mufasa and Sarabi's like relationship. And honestly, I want more Mufasa and Sarabi. Can we please have Mufasa and Sarabi? Like, them in The Lion King is just not enough for me anymore. So it did tick all of those boxes, but it added more and more context to their story and Mufasa's story and all of these other characters, that it didn't feel only like a movie to hit those beats. I think the difference is you want a prequel that doesn't feel like its only purpose is to hit those beats and show and fill in the gaps. It's one that will fill in the gaps and not just only be about how did this happen, how did that happen. And I feel like it leads into The Lion King seamlessly, while also peeking in, because we have several moments where it goes back to Kiara and Rafiki and Timon and Pumbaa, which Timon and Pumbaa are so annoying and they're not funny at all. And I found myself just wanting to get past those scenes. But I love Kiara and Rafiki and how he's teaching her and that mentor dynamic, because it's already being set in stone, and it's setting up The Lion King 2 at the same time. So while the backstory is leading into The Lion King 1, the present day is leading into The Lion King 2. And Timon and Pumbaa have that same kind of energy that they do in The Lion King 1.5. And honestly, I would not be opposed to a live action Lion King 2. I kind of want them to do that now, because it kind of sets that up perfectly. So yeah, overall, I love this movie. It's a 5-star movie, and it's one of those movies that feels like it has the magic of Disney again, where it's like you finish the movie, like WALL-E, for example, is one of them, where the movie ends and you just want to start it over and watch it again because you don't want it to be over, because it's such a beautiful movie. I almost cried. There were several moments where I almost teared up. It's very emotional at times. It has really good music. It's got that love story and duet between Mufasa and Sarabi that I feel like a lot of modern day Disney movies are missing, and we have that beautiful love story that's between them. It's got really good brotherly relationships between Mufasa and Taka, aka Scar, and also Mufasa and Rafiki. It's got a fun group dynamic with the group of Taka, Mufasa, Zazu, Sarabi, and Rafiki. It's got the mentor dynamic between Rafiki and all the characters, and also Rafiki and Kiara. It still has Simba and Nala, and kind of has a nod for The Lion King. So it does everything that you would want a Disney movie to do, even though it's a live action, and it's not a live action remake. Like, that's something that my sister pointed out, was that what feels different about it is it's not a remake, so it doesn't feel like it's just repetitive. It actually does bring something new to the audience, and that's why I love this movie. It's a 5-star movie for me, and I really, really genuinely enjoyed it. So have you seen Mufasa? And if so, what did you think of it? Give me your thoughts down below, whether you enjoyed it or whether you didn't. What do you like? What do you dislike? And what are your favorite parts of the movie and aspects of the movie? And if you liked this video, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. In the meantime, if you liked my review of Mufasa, then check out my review of the live action remake they did of The Little Mermaid. I have a little bit of a different opinion in that one, but I did enjoy that movie too, and aspects of it, and I give you all of my thoughts and details on that. So check that out. You don't want to miss it.